Jay-Z huyendo después de que 50 Cent filtró sus chats privados con Diddy.
I'm fully prepared with everything I need for the Jay-Z documentary. The moment he sent that legal letter, I knew I had to let the world see who he really is. He and Diddy are cut from the same cloth. He just hides his arrogance and control behind a cleaner image. Our feud has lasted 20 years, and I know better than anyone what he's done in the shadows. I even suspect that so-called funeral bouquet wasn't Diddy's idea at all, but Jay-Z acting on his behalf. Back when Nicki Minaj posted that video of him wearing a pink wig, all I did was repost it, and he got so nervous he had his lawyers threaten me. In 2015, Nicki worked her ass off helping him build his platform, and he allegedly pocketed her $7.9 million in royalties. And then there's his fingerprints all over key incidents through the years, whether it's the elevator footage or the guest list at Diddy's parties. He was involved, clearly, but somehow he always walks away untouched. That's what he's best at, pulling strings behind the scenes while pretending to be spotless in public. And now that a corner of the darkness has been ripped open, I'm not stopping. Everything my team and I are doing isn't about attacking anyone, it's about making sure the truth can't be buried by him ever again.
Jay-Z está corriendo por su vida después de que 50 Cent supuestamente filtrara cómo ha sido su correspondencia privada con Diddy. Esto no es buena noticia para Jay-Z, porque desde hace mucho tiempo se le ha acusado de haber hecho cosas verdaderamente horribles junto con Diddy, y ahora todo está saliendo a la luz. Mira lo que dice Jaguar Wright.
Sean Carter aided and abetted or was directly involved. It's about to get real tense, and there's a lot of girls and boys who are still trapped inside the machine.
En entrevistas, 50 Cent dijo que nunca formó parte del círculo íntimo de Diddy. Explicó que ciertas invitaciones y situaciones lo hicieron sentir incómodo hace mucho tiempo y que esa distancia es la razón por la que se siente confiado al hablar ahora. Cuando las alegaciones se hicieron públicas, 50 Cent dijo que se enteró de ellas de la misma manera que todos los demás a través de las noticias, pero ninguna de ellas lo sorprendió.
Jaguar Wright explained that Jay-Z is worse than Diddy. She explained how Jay-Z has done worse things than what Diddy did to Cassie to other females. And she said that she has the scars to prove it. She alleged that at one time Jay-Z attacked her and got it on film like Diddy did. And she alleged that this is why Jay-Z is totally pulling away from Diddy and you don't see him around. And it's been alleged for quite a while that Jay-Z is pulling away from Diddy because he doesn't want himself caught in the crossfire. I mean, you even have 50 Cent at this point talking about how Jay-Z is in hiding while this whole Diddy thing blows over. And you even have these accusations of Jay-Z being responsible for what happened to Cassie White. So I'm going to go ahead and roll you guys this clip of everything that Jag had to say about Jay-Z being worse than Diddy, and you guys let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Sean Carter is just as bad as the diddler. And I know that for a fact. I got the scars to prove it. You wanna know what a box cutter feels like going into your skin and ripping you? I can tell you how it feels. Y'all ain't seen shit yet. That Cassie shit, that's nothing. I'm saying Sean Carter remembers everything he did to me and he's got it on tape. Just like Diddy. And they're gonna be crazy. It's gonna be the women that get them in the end.
A medida que la investigación crecía, la atención se desplazó lentamente hacia Jay-Z. La gente empezó a preguntar por qué permanecía en silencio mientras todo lo relacionado con Diddy se desarrollaba. Ese silencio levantó sospechas. Algunos creían que el equipo de Jay-Z ya sabía que su nombre había aparecido en casos civiles y quería adelantarse a la situación. Otros temían que, incluso sin cargos, el daño a su reputación ya estuviera ocurriendo. Las redes sociales no ayudaron. Los rumores sobre que él estaba silenciado a personas que levantaban alegaciones en su contra se volvieron más intensos que nunca.
That's actually exactly what Jay-Z's accuser is saying, that even though she dropped the lawsuit, she still stands by what she says, and she only dropped it because of harassment and the fact that she's terrified of Jay-Z. She says that Jay-Z is allegedly bullying her into saying that her accusations were false. In fact, in new legal documents, she is claiming that she was recently approached outside of her home and cornered by two people who told her they were investigators working for one of Jay-Z's lawyers. She claims they tried to get her to sign an affidavit stating that her claims against Jay-Z were false, but she refused. HUYENDO also claims the alleged investigators asked her if her attorney, Tony Busby, sought her out as a client and offered her money to pursue false claims against Jay-Z, two allegations she says she denied. He says this alleged confrontation left her intimidated and terrified, wondering how they found her when her identity had remained anonymous in media reports and legal proceedings. He also claims that her parents were approached by two investigators asking similar questions about Busby and her story. In the new documents, she reveals she decided to drop the claim because she was frightened by the reaction from Jay-Z and his supporters. He says she feared she would be publicly outed and subjected to public attacks.
Insiders de la industria explicaron que incluso una sola investigación criminal podría cambiarlo todo. No solo para Diddy, sino para cualquiera que estuviera estrechamente ligado a él. Por eso, muchos creen que el documental de 50 Cent importa tanto. No se trata solo de una persona, se trata de cómo funcionaba el poder entre bastidores, quién sabía y quién podría ser arrastrado a continuación. Los comentaristas también cuestionaron cómo Diddy había permanecido protegido durante tanto tiempo. Algunos creen que construyó su influencia rodeándose de personas poderosas y controlando la información a medida que se extendían los rumores. Los reportes afirmaban que Diddy podría estar cooperando con las autoridades para reducir su situación. Uno de esos acuerdos aparentemente involucraría que delatará precisamente a Jay-Z.
Will Diddy start snitching?
He better. But the only thing I'm interested in him talking about is everything he knows about Kathy Coriana White. See, I know you know what happened, Corey. Diddy, I know that. You and Jay-Z. Down in Vegas at Tao with Claudia. Why don't you just talk about Kathy? That might help. That might help a lot. Kathy Coriana White, Jay-Z's pregnant mistress, who died 24 hours after she announced that she was going public with their relationship and the baby. While he was married to Beyonce.
Not
Did an aneurysm, Diddy? Or are you the one who paid the same coroner that you... Oh, Diddy, you should talk.
Ahora, desde el documental fue lanzado oficialmente, una cosa está clara. Esto no se trata solo del pasado, se trata de lo que sucede a continuación. Cada nuevo detalle atrae más atención hacia las personas que permanecieron en silencio, especialmente hacia Jay-Z. Este renovado foco sobre Jay-Z es particularmente importante porque él y Diddy tienen una relación que se remonta muy atrás. Diddy, en particular, no se contuvo cuando le preguntaron sobre la relación de Jay-Z con Diddy. Esto ocurrió después de que el abogado de Jay-Z emitiera una declaración diciendo que Jay-Z y Diddy nunca fueron realmente cercanos. Desde el punto de vista de Diddy, esa afirmación no tenía ningún sentido en lo absoluto. Mira lo que dice Diddy.
How close was Diddy and Jay-Z? They was close enough that they wasn't playing basketball, they wasn't playing baseball.
They wasn't playing football and they wasn't playing hockey or soccer for Diddy to come on stage, pat him on his ass, and then make the statement to people in the world that can't nobody call me Sean but Jay-Z. Now, I don't know what kind of statement, and I can't say, I wish I could say half a homo, but I know I can't say it. But I don't know what kind of half a homo that is. And you trying to say that you're not close to somebody. You coming on stage, patting them on their ass, and then you making a broad statement to the public, can't nobody call me Sean but Sean Carter. And I heard Jay-Z said the same thing about them. But they were so close that they had matching white girls together. Because when they used to see each other, they used to say, yo, how your skinny white girl doing? He'd be like, yo, how your skinny white girl doing? So, I guess that's a certain type of closeness.
I ain't know anything about that, man. I ain't know about, Jay touching his, so I gotta go see the video. I ain't hear about that.
Come on, man. Everybody's seen that. 50 even pointed it out. Excuse me. When they was in ATL on stage. Remember when 50 bum rushed the stage with them?
Yeah, I think I recall that.
When Puff came on stage, first thing he did was pat Jay-Z on that. But I forgot. That's your favorite rapper.
Hey, him and Pockets 1A, 1B. But what's your issue with Jay, man? I didn't know you had an issue with him.
I'm never a fan of somebody that I was gonna knock out.
Para Jean, ese nivel de familiaridad hablaba por sí solo. También, durante un show en Atlanta, Diddy salió al escenario con Jay-Z y la gente notó los cómodos y familiares que se veían en su interacción. Incluso 50 Cent lo señaló públicamente más tarde, lo que mantuvo el clip circulando en línea. Cuando le preguntaron si tenía un problema personal con Jay-Z, Jean explicó que no se trataba de ser fan o no ser fan. Recordó una vieja situación donde las tensiones eran altas, pero Jay-Z ni siquiera parecía recordarla después. Jean dijo que así es como operan algunas personas en la cima. Pasan por las situaciones, crean problemas y luego los olvidan porque viven en un mundo completamente diferente. Mira lo que dice Jean Dio.
That's how these guys are, man. They'll cause situations and cause problems, and then they'll forget what they've done because they're on a whole nother atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit that he did, you gotta understand, like now he'll say that they're kids because he's raising kids of his own. You understand? But how would you like it that if Blue Ivory, 15, 16 years old, 17, 18 years old, dating in his early 30s? You're not gonna go for that. No matter what she came through in Hollywood. But you gotta understand, guys who was around there, we didn't know Jay-Z them ages. We didn't know these cats' age. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't having no beards and nothing like that. They was wearing low cuts. You understand? Clean face. I would have never believed when Jay was coming around the block, scooping up the young girls and stuff like that he was 30 years old. You know, if they 17, 18, 16 years old, and they 22, you thinking they 22, 23, something like that, 24 years old? They mom and them need to check them. They daddy and them need to check them. But that's not that far off. But for somebody to be 30 years old in their 30s and they dealing with kids 16 years old, 17, 18 years, now that's a problem, that's an issue. And now he see that because he's raising kids. And he got a young daughter. I think he got another daughter that he didn't claim and now he claiming them. These cats was doing a whole lot of stuff that people in the industry won't speak on. And then now that you're speaking on it and it's becoming where is that you can get on YouTube and you could talk about this shit and say what you seen or say what you heard, you understand, or what you know, Some people look at it being a problem. But these cats ain't street cats. They entertainers.
Dame Dash, el antiguo mejor amigo de Jay-Z, también habló recientemente sobre las serias acusaciones que rodean a Jay-Z. Y lo que más le llamó la atención no fueron solo las acusaciones en sí, sino cómo la gente estaba reaccionando a ellas. Dame dijo que nunca había visto a Jay-Z enfrentar este tipo de escrutinio público antes. Durante décadas, Jay-Z parecía intocable, especialmente en los medios mainstream. Esta vez, esa protección no parecía estar allí.
It's just odd to see him in that, in that, getting looked at in that way by white people. Like Jay does, yeah, like I hope that shit didn't happen, but I'm like, damn, they turned the world real. Like people on a certain level have been fucking with him a certain way where he couldn't do no wrong for like 25 years straight. This is the first time he's not getting a pass with white media. Like he can control black media because a lot of them either work or do business with him. But like, Drink Champs can't get him out of this one, and neither can Charlemagne, because those are the guys that hold him down no matter what he does anyway. So he got to get to People Magazine and Entertainment Tonight right now, because they on his head. But the question is why? Like why now? Because for me, I'd be like, yo, that's so ridiculous. Yo, take that to trial. You're not gonna win. Let's get a deposition or something. So I don't know why they on his head so much. Pause. But I never seen him, under this. I never seen him in this position. They have to explain himself. Pause.
How you feel about the statement he came out with?
I mean, I didn't hear him say anything. I heard a piece of, like I said, for me, I'm doing an interview, so I talk. I thought it was long. For a statement, I thought it was long, pause. But, I think right now, his silence is the worst thing for him if he is innocent. He needs to let people ask him questions. He needs to be able to say his side of the story, as opposed to letting that lawyer talk.
Dame también criticó la decisión de distanciar completamente a Jay-Z de Diddy. Sintió que decir que nunca fueron amigos era una elección de palabras extrema y que probablemente causaría un fuerte rechazo. Miren lo que dice Dame Dash.
Like I don't think I would have said that he didn't know Puff at all or wasn't his friend. I thought that was a little extreme. I thought that was the wrong choice of words. I think that's going to trigger a lot of backlash. But the thing is, I never seen him get backlash at all. So that's what I'm saying. Now he getting backlash. Like, when did you know Jay-Z to be on his heels other than when he got beat up in the elevator? But that was nothing. But I've never seen him under the fire ever. Not in a long time. Not like, I've never seen people on his head like that, Paul. Ever.
Yeah, this might be my first time seeing people come at him like this.
Like I said, I didn't hear him say anything. Like I'm not some white man speaking for another black man doesn't add up. It just doesn't work like that. Like he doesn't know what to say on Jay's behalf. Jay would have to say that. So if he instructed him to say that, like you don't even know if Jay told him to say that. He could have got off the stage and they was like, "Why'd you say that?" He was like, "I had to." Like he probably said it because homeboy wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? Like I didn't hear him say anything. I haven't heard Jay say a word yet. Have you?
Nah, I haven't heard him say anything.
There it is. So y'all going by a piece of paper with words? Don't get caught up in that. I have not heard him say one thing yet. Until I see him speak, he hasn't spoke to me. That's why I said I don't think he did not say that. His lawyer said it. So what else is a lawyer gonna say? You know what I'm saying?
Lo que más sorprendió a Dame es que esta es la primera vez que recuerda que Jay-Z haya sido empujado a una posición defensiva. Aparte de unos pocos momentos aislados en el pasado, Jay-Z rara vez ha tenido que explicarse a sí mismo. Ahora, por primera vez, Dame dice que la presión es real y constante. Ahora, la pregunta interesante aquí es ¿por qué 50 Cent parece tan enfocado en exponer a Jay-Z? La historia con Diddy sola no explica por completo. Según Tony Yayo, la tensión entre 50 y Jay-Z se remonta muy atrás y está arraigada en la competencia y la lealtad. Tony Yayo explicó que el hip hop siempre ha sido competitivo. Los artistas chocan, los egos colisionan y las cosas pueden volverse intensas. Pero, al mismo tiempo, hay momentos en los que la gente madura y sigue adelante. Señaló un show reciente donde 50 actuó junto a Dr. Dre y Cameron apareció y se unió a él en el escenario. Hace años tuvieron problemas, pero ese momento mostró madurez. Cameron recientemente dijo que Jay-Z ama más los negocios que la cultura y Yayo entendió por qué la gente se siente así. Señaló que Jay-Z aparecía en eventos importantes de estilo corporativo, pero no mostraba el mismo apoyo para momentos del hip hop que importaran a artistas como 50. Mira lo que dice Tony Yayo en Black TV.
And there was this one part where 50 was talking, and he was saying, yeah, when Yayo was locked up, every G-Unit show, we actually put aside the money.
Bro, I told
for him,
you.
and he had like a, he's
I
like,
just
Yayo had like $1 million.
Right.
When
I
he
just
came
told
home.
you when I came out of my building, I see the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
There was no way I was getting shot there. And this is what I kind of tell you is like, when we was talking about stacks with the Porsche, 50's not gonna let you say, get the Porsche. He gonna say, let's get him out the hood first. You know, if the money's there, but the money has to be there for you to live like that. The money's there. 50 didn't have to do that. Rest in peace to Hervé from Interscope, because he always said to me, man, 50 do more for you than any artist, than anybody does for their artists. More than Jay-Z. Young Guns is right there.
Y ello dijo que la gran diferencia entre Jay-Z y 50 Cent es la accesibilidad. Jay-Z opera en un nivel muy alto, pero es distante. 50, por otro lado, puede ser igual de poderoso, pero aún así aparece por la gente, se mantiene conectado. Y ello dijo que los artistas nunca deberían olvidar a las personas que los ayudaron a construirse en primer lugar. Luego llegó el momento que realmente le impactó. Y ello dice que Jay-Z no quería que 50 Cent actuara en el show de medio tiempo del Super Bowl. Según lo que oyó, Eminem tuvo que intervenir y dejar claro que no actuaría a menos que incluyeran a 50 Cent. Para Yayo, eso se sintió personal.
Well, speaking of Cameron,
Yeah.
he made a statement recently. He said that Jay-Z loves money more than hip-hop. And he pointed out that Jay-Z performed at Tom Brady's Hall of Fame ceremony, but he didn't perform in any Hip-Hop 50 events.
I mean, Jay-Z's on a whole nother level. Like, I mean, you
That's
know,
true.
he's like, but you know what I like about 50? 50's on a whole nother level, but he's still approachable. You still get to meet the people and and you know, Jay gotta remember the people that made him. You know, I'm not saying I don't got respect. I respect Jay-Z, 50, used to respect, you know, Diddy, but all that crazy shit going on. But, you know, I always respected him because I looked at, for New York, those were like the guys. You know what I'm saying? The guys with the most money and the most influence. So with Jay is like, when the last time you haven't seen Jay, so I think people are just gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I mean, Jay, you know, you gotta remember, he didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl. That was crazy, come on.
Wait, Jay didn't want 50 at the Super
You didn't
Bowl?
know that? Yeah, he didn't
Well,
want.
I remember Eminem pushed for it.
That was some hater shit. Yeah,
I remember
pushed for it,
Eminem
yeah.
was like, I'm not going to do it unless 50 does it. I heard that.
Yeah, and
But I didn't know that Jay was trying to stop it.
I don't think Jay. I don't know. 50 never told me that, but I don't think Jay wanted him there. I don't know.
Because of what, some of the
I mean,
the back
you
and
know,
forth back in the
it's
day?
competition. You got to think. 50 always been competition for Jay. Remember, I'm about $1. What the fuck is 50 Cent?
That was a long time ago.
That was
man.
what 9? What was
Yeah,
that?
but then
9?
but after that they did a song together. Remember
Yeah,
the whole,
of course,
the
but
whole
50
Gina
was
sneaker
50
thing?
was always competition for niggas. Then remember Jay said, "Yo, 50's coming." He told Siegel and them, and Memphis Bleak and all them.
Yeah.
And come on, 50's like, he's on a whole nother level. You gotta remember, he came after niggas. He came after Jay and Rockefeller. G-Unit came, and people might shit on G-Unit, but with Eminem, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, nobody has outsold us, bro. Nobody has had the effect.
Ejecutivos discográficos incluso le dijeron a Yayo que 50 había hecho más por su gente que muchos grandes figuras por sus artistas. Mira lo que dice Jaguar Wright.
Because he says to people, he goes into boardrooms and says to people, which I will never say, is he says, it's important for me to be a billionaire, you know, because Black people need to be billionaires. And why does specifically he, at that time, I've had this conversation with white money people when they go, you know, it's important that Jay-Z becomes a billionaire. And I go, why? And they said, because he wants to open up a casino. You know, he wants to open up this, he should have an alcoholic brand. He needs to have a casino. He needs to have this. And you're like, why the fuck does anybody need a casino? Like another fucking casino
money
in this
all
world.
Day, and it makes it very possible for people to launder money all day.
Yeah. So like, why, even the fact that you want to become so powerful, then you're not saying because he needs to build schools for Black people in Black neighborhoods. It's because he wanted to build casinos for Black people.
For them to keep wasting their money and then for him to keep
Yes.
selling them overpriced merchandise. It's a rat trap.
Yeah.
All of it is. The sad part is that hip-hop has now turned itself over to this greed machine and doesn't realize it's time to unplug.
Con el tiempo, la relación entre Jay-Z y Diddy aparentemente empezó a deteriorarse. Algunas personas de su entorno dicen que la confianza se convirtió en un problema y que había temores sobre quién podría protegerse a sí mismo si las cosas alguna vez salían mal. Jaguar Wright incluso ha afirmado que Jay-Z jugó un papel entre bastidores en la caída de Diddy, aunque eso sigue siendo una alegación.
So why does it all come to a head now? Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time, like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing shit different. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
Shout out D. Haven. He actually hit us up, wanted to tell this story.
You need to talk to D. Haven.
We need to talk to him.
I told you that last year when I put you on the phone with him.
You did.
Roger Barnes, quien solía ser el jefe de seguridad de Diddy, dio su propia perspectiva sobre cómo se veía realmente esa relación desde adentro. Desde el punto de vista de Roger, sí vio interactuar a Jay-Z y Diddy, pero nunca pensó que fueran cercanos. Dijo que Diddy creía que eran más cercanos de lo que en realidad eran.
I believe Puff felt they was close.
Oh.
But if you was a person on the outside looking in, like me and Uncle Paulie used to always talk about it, me and D-Rock would talk about, yo, why Puff kind of like sucking Jay off so much? You know what I'm saying? Because you'd be like, we done flew to 5 or 6, 7 different concerts that Jay-Z has. But Jay-Z is not at one of Puff's shows. You know what I'm saying? You look at the Rock brunch where Puff will break his neck to get to the brunch, but Jay-Z don't pop up at any of Puff parties. You know, now I can only speak up until 2012. You know what I'm saying? And Puff was breaking his neck. Like, at the end of the day, in our mind, we say, yo, he ain't even invite Puff to his wedding. When he married Beyonce, Steve Stout and all of them was there. You know what I'm saying? And Puff was kind of in his feelings, but once again.
Oh, Puff was upset he didn't get invited to the wedding?
Of course he was. Oh. You know what I'm saying? But you got to remember, we're security, so we're bottom on the totem pole. So he's not gonna show you that it really affects him until you have a little conversation with him, or you say something, or you overhear something. But he didn't get invited to that, you know. Yeah, Jay came through every once in a while. Like if we was in a yacht in San Tropez or one of these places like that, Jay might ride up, you know what I'm saying? And it's more or less to show, yeah, I got a yacht too.
Las personas del equipo de Diddy a menudo notaban que Diddy aparecía por Jay-Z mucho más de lo que Jay-Z aparecía por Diddy.
To me all the time, I mean, Jay ain't really with Puff. It was no personal into it. It would be like if Ron Burgos is flying from LA on his jet, but Jay-Z just so happens to be going to New York too. We all end up on the jet, flying back, those type of things, but nothing to go out his way and say. If we in a club, you might be downtown at bed or something like that. Jay-Z might be there, so they end up at the same table, you know what I'm saying? And it was times where I listen to the records now where Jay-Z said, yo, why should I drink Ciroc when why should I drink Grey Goose when Puff got Ciroc? This is something new that just started happening, because I remember we almost got into a big altercation with Pecas and them because...
For Sean Pecas?
Yeah, because Puff was there and Jay and them was there and they had a bunch of Grey Goose bottles come to the table. And Puff felt like, yo, that was disrespectful. And he knocked over the Grey Goose bottles, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
I think I heard about
fuck
this.
y'all niggas doing that for, yo, da-da-da-da-da-da. But Jay didn't care, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and Pecas came back to the house and explained himself, da-da-da-da-da. You know, I was eavesdropping and airdropping, you know, because like I said, Puff is always ready to fight. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Emery had just came home and this, that, and the other like that, and they ordered Grey Goose bottles. Now, why you got 10 Grey Goose bottles coming to the table if you know I'm right here at the table and I got Ciroc? So there's a lot of different things that don't add up.
En su opinión, Jay-Z y Diddy nunca fueron tan cercanos como la gente creía. Compartían dinero, espacio e influencia, pero no lealtad. Y con el tiempo, esas grietas se volvieron imposibles de ignorar. Podríamos ahora ver cómo esas grietas se ensanchan y los engullen a ambos. Déjanos saber qué ustedes creen en los comentarios abajo que yo les voy a estar leyendo. ¿Creen ustedes que el próximo es Jay-Z en un documental que supuestamente lo van a enganchar en YouTube? Me despido hasta un nuevo episodio, señores. Yo soy Mike Santos. One love.